Hello and welcome to One Cool Thing, PC Mag's daily show on Facebook, where we show you one cool thing which we are testing out here in the PC Mag Labs. I'm Sasha Segan. This is Jim Fisher. We are talking about cameras and printers today, and photo printers, and what is coming out here, Jim?
It's an instant picture.
Whoa, an instant picture, because our one cool thing is the Fujifilm Instax Share SP-3 instant printer. Now, of course, we have Social Pete on the con over there taking your comments and questions. Please ask us questions about anything photography related, or I can probably do things that are phone related if you have questions about those. But yeah, let's get to the product. I feel like we've seen these cute little Bluetooth instant printers a lot over the years.
It's Wi-Fi, not Bluetooth.
Okay, so that's
so you do have to connect to the network, the SSID broadcast network. It's not as seamless as say a Bluetooth goes.
Can I do this because it's
not going to make it won't go any faster.
I watched that Outcast video a lot when I was younger.
It won't go any faster, but you can do it.
Okay.
You can do it. This is the third one that Fujifilm has released. They did the SP1, which was very much a version 1.0 project. The SP2 came out, I want to say earlier this year or late last year, and it used the Instax Mini format. This is essentially the same thing, but with Instax Square, which has got that lovely, old school Polaroid look. It's actually square.
And it's square, but it's also, is it more square centimeters than the Instax Mini?
Yes.
So you are getting a bigger image.
It's the same height, but it's wider.
Okay.
It's 1.8, or it's 2.4 by 2.4 instead of 1.8 by 2.4 as far as the image area goes in inches.
Okay. Now there's a couple of different kinds of these little printers. I know there are zinc printers out there.
Right. Well, zinc is crap.
Okay.
As far as color reproduction goes, zinc is very convenient because you don't need to have any sort of ink, and the paper is cheap. But I've printed this image with zinc, which is very pink here, like it should be. This was shot on Kodachrome 25 and has been scanned and then digitized, and now being printed in on an Instax image. But the pink on the zinc for this, the magenta, just didn't look right at all.
So zinc pink ink is
no good.
Not good. Okay.
It stinks.
Yeah, zinc pink ink stinks. You heard it here. Let's take a question.
We have a question about whether the photos are waterproof.
They're high gloss, and you can write on them with Sharpie. You can write on the border. Waterproof, I have not poured any water off over that, so I don't know.
So are these? So these are real old school film. Like what is happening here?
There's some digital. I mean, the image, this itself is a chemical film process. There's
okay.
This little in here. There's some chemicals, and when it goes through the thing, they're squeezed out, which makes it, after the film has been exposed to light by a little projectory thing inside, the chemicals squeeze out and make it turn into a picture.
So you're exposing a digital image onto an analog medium.
Yes.
Okay. So now, is this? How similar is this to the printer in some of the Fuji Instax cameras that have built-in printers, where
it's the same?
You're taking a picture, you're pulling outside.
Fujifilm put out its first Instax Square camera this year, the SQ10, which is a digital camera with a printer built in, and it's the same printer.
Okay.
It's just that's got a camera attached to it. It's $280, and is really designed to print the images you take with that camera. Technically, there was supposed to be a way for you to put images on a micro SD card and print them on the camera, but it didn't really work. There was something up with the firmware; it wasn't recognizing most images. Like I got it to print from like one or two weird point-and-shoot cameras, but no SLRs. So that feature was a little bit of a bust.
So let's take another question.
How much does the paper that you print on cost?
This is a 10-pack of film. It's selling right now on Amazon for $13.87.
And that's kind of the big minus
retail
here, right?
Retail's $15 on a 10-pack.
So it's
$1.50, $1.40, $1.50 a shot.
And that's more expensive than even the other dedicated photo printer.
Well, an Instax Mini you can now get for, when you buy it in like say three 20 packs or something, it's 70 cents a shot. So it's about twice as much as Instax Mini.
And zinc is less expensive too, right?
Yeah, but the quality's not there.
Yeah, zinc is lousy. So what phones or what devices can print to this?
iOS and Android.
Okay.
There's an Instax Share app, and it lets you do neat things, like it's here on my phone. You can preview stuff from your camera roll. You can also pull images from Instagram, from your social media accounts, or search Instagram tags. Fujifilm said, if you're at a wedding, you've got your custom wedding hashtag, then you can look on Instagram later and print shots on demand from what your guest took. You can do collages, you can put multiple shots on one frame, or you can spread a shot across 10 frames and make your own little collage.
Now, because you're going digital to analog, I guess resolutions don't translate perfectly, but what are the ideal resolutions to print in this kind of format?
I've shot everything from things that I shot on my phone. This was shot with the iPhone 8 Plus 2X lens.
But that's a very good phone.
Yes.
Yes.
This was shot with a 45 megapixel Nikon D8 50 full frame SLR. This was shot with a $100 Nikon point and shoot.
Okay.
With the 20 megapixel sensor. This was shot on film. This was shot on the $8,000 Leica M monochrome.
Do you know what the resolution of the little projector in here that projects onto the film is?
That's not something that's listed.
Okay.
So, but I mean, the output is what matters, and I look at the output taken from a really good source, and it's really crisp and sharp and the glossy finish. And it's unfortunate that it's the one downside to this is really this is for handing to someone, because this looks great in person. I've tried scanning these before. They don't scan very well.
Okay.
It doesn't translate when you try to show them digitally online.
Let's take another question.
What's the max resolution it can print, and how sharp are the pictures?
Like you said, I've printed from a full resolution 45 megapixel file. And it's real sharp. If the image is real sharp.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, how much sharpness do you lose in the transfer?
It's not something I can quantify.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just I think they look
we're going
good.
to an analog medium.
Yeah,
here.
I mean,
that's what's interesting about it.
I look at this and it's small. That's going to be your limitation. I can put it up really close to my eye. I can put a loop on here if you really wanted to. But this this is something you're going to hand to someone or stick on the fridge, or maybe even make a little gallery in your apartment, make it a little collage, little art wall. This is not really something you're not going to put any bigger than 2.4 inches square, and you don't need a lot of resolution for that.
Now we were discussing this a little bit earlier, but so this is $200 for the printer.
Yep.
It's essentially $1.50 a shot. Is there another good option for people who want to spend less but don't want to be stuck with the bad pink zinc ink?
There's the SP-2 is still available. It uses the less expensive mini format, which people love. They love it. They love their Instax Mini, and that is down to about $150. It started at $200, but the prices, I think the retail price is $180 now, but it's selling regularly for $150.
Okay, let's take another question.
Will these fade over time like Polaroids?
All of these are a few weeks old, and they haven't faded yet. But I'd have to have them for a few years. I have had an Instax shot of me taking a trade show from 4 or 5 years ago that looked fine still last time I looked at it, but I don't know where it is. It was on my fridge. And
does Fuji make any promises about the longevity of the film?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, once you open a pack of this film, is there a ticking clock? Is there an expiration date?
Well, the expiration date
at
is
which point you have to use it once it's open.
right here on the top, and this is a new film stock, so it looks like 2 years out is going to be your expiration date. But keep it in the fridge will last longer. Don't freeze it. Don't put instant film in the freezer, but you can store it in the fridge.
Okay, great. Any more questions out there?
Can you just recap where people can buy this?
Amazon, Best Buy, any camera store. It's available retail very widely.
Now, I notice it charges over micro USB.
It does indeed.
Do you know how many shots per charge we're talking here?
Yeah, it's in the review. It's somewhere like 400. So
that's plenty.
It's more film than I had available to test. So I couldn't actually do a battery rundown test, but I've only charged this once when I got it, and I've not charged it since then.
Okay, great. So, this is the Fujifilm Instax Share SP-3. Now, I notice it does not have an editor's choice badge.
No, I didn't think it was a strong enough product to give it editor's choice endorsement. I think it's pretty niche. It's costly to use. If you like the idea, it does exactly what it promises to do. But is it really top end? Am I going to say go out and buy this? Go out and buy this? No. If you want it, and you like the idea and you're willing to spend the money, sure, you're going to be happy with the results.
Do we have any editor's choices in this whole digital to analog category? I mean, I'm thinking there's these guys.
I might have given one to the.
There's the Impossible.
I might have given one to the Impossible just because it was kind of crazy and unique.
Yeah.
The Impossible is actually a copy stand that uses optical glass elements to take images from your phone screen
Whoa.
to put onto film. But it's more expensive. The film is
insanely expensive.
$3 a shot.
Yeah.
But the real kicker for the Impossible is that the app gives you instructions, voice instructions, read by Werner Herzog. So that was I think what pushed it over the edge for the editor's choice mark.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
It looks like we have another question out there.
So, would you recommend someone getting a printer, or do you think that they would be better off getting just an instant camera itself and sort of cutting out the middleman?
That's a good question. I personally lean towards just getting the camera. You can get an Instax mini camera for $60 and have a good time with it.
And I lean in the other direction, and I will explain why. Because we've had a couple of these printers at our house, and we love them. And what happens is, especially with kids, the kids all have phones now, and they all have their own phones, and this lets all of their phones, for instance at a birthday party, all of the phones then become things that can create instant photos, as opposed to having to pass around one specific camera, also that you might forget when you go out because people always remember their phones. So that's, and of course I'm the phone guy, so I would say this.
Right, and I don't have kids, so I'm just thinking for myself as an adult male who likes his toys, that I want to have my own camera and take pictures with it. Right now there's actually no true analog camera to shoot Instax Square.
Huh.
Lomo has doing a Kickstarter, and I know normally we're wary of Kickstarters, but Lomo has an excellent Kickstarter reputation. They're putting out a full analog version in March of next year is when they're slated to arrive. I bought one first day in the limited edition blue leatherette finish, and it's pretty unique design because it's actually a folding camera. So it's gonna probably be this wide or so closed, and it's gonna extend out to be like this.
Oh, awesome.
And be a real glass lens, full Instax Square camera. So I'm looking forward to that, and I really hope. Right now the Instax Square film is only available in color. But Fuji has monochrome stock for the wide and the mini, so I'm hoping the Square gets the monochrome treatment by the time that comes out.
Yeah, we have a bunch of Instax mini photos of my daughter's friends on our fridge, and she's given photos of herself to her friends, and I mean it's just this great, especially for that generation who are so used to everything being digital, they're so pleasantly surprised by the fact that they can make it tactile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's neat, and it's I look at things I print not enough. I don't make good big prints and mount them or frame them often enough. But with something like this, I'm more inclined to take an image I really love that I shot and see it physically. And I did a little sepia tone on this. There are some basic image editing tools in the app we should mention. You can change things to black and white. You can do Instagram style filters.
But you can also just load Lightroom on your phone.
Which is what I recommend for heavy editing, because the editing tools are very, very basic in that app. The one thing that I do recommend in the app is there's an enhanced filter, which I did some side-by-side prints. Basically makes the print look more like it does on your phone screen.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's just it takes the limitations of the film's reproduction range into account and gives you a better preview of what you're going to see.
Okay. Any more questions out there? Great. So so the Instax Share SP-3, it is on the market now. It is $200. It is 4 stars. Doesn't get an editor's choice because it's a little bit of a niche product, but Jim and I both love this niche. So if this is the kind of thing that you want to, stick on your fridge or give to your friends or have around your house or just look at on your desk all day, get one of these printers. Thank you very much. This has been One Cool Thing at PCMag.com. We will be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. with another cool thing for you.